We'll call the meeting to order. It's 4 o'clock. We're now in session. Roll call, please.
Chairman Benjamin Peña.
Here.
Vice Chairman Gerardo Gonzalez. Treasurer Frank Orozco Jr.
Here.
Secretary Ana Oquen.
Here.
Board Member Dr. Joe Hinojosa.
Here.
Board Member Antonio Bernuz.
Here.
Commissioner Brian Martinez. For the record, Vice Chairman Gerardo Gonzalez is not here, and Commissioner Brian Martinez.
Thank you. We do have a quorum.
Yes, Chairman. Next item, public comment period. There were no comments registered, Chairman. Next item, consideration and action, if any, on the following items. 2.1, approval of the minutes of the June 18, 2026 regular board meeting and the July 6, 2026 special board meeting. 2.2, ratification of payments issued in June of 2026. 2.3, approval of the first payment of $210,000 under the Economic Development Performance Agreement for Rich Products.
Is there any items that any of the board members would like to pull out of the consent agenda items? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. I second.
We have a first and a second.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, staff reports. 3, space and defense. 4, marketing and communications. 5, business recruitment. 6, executive report. Space and defense, this report will not be presented at this time, Chairman.
You.
Next item, marketing and communications, presented by Marcela Saenz.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start with our global engagement and investment efforts. This month, we established relationships with the newly opened Texas Economic Development Office in the United Kingdom. We're working closely with the U.S. Commercial Service and UK Manufacturing and Trade organizations to expand our international investment network. We're building a pipeline of strategic partners to support business recruitment and market development efforts. And I'm happy to inform that 7 of Greater Brownsville EDC's highest priority active projects are FDI opportunities. Website FDI enhancements. So we have completed the website SEO audit and we finalized the content strategy. And basically what we're doing next is we are developing our competitive advantages page. That's the one that we chose to make edits to. And it'll become high-performing investment attraction asset for both search engines and AI search as well. And big day today, news-wise. So we executed a coordinated communications campaign, including a news release, social media, and local media distribution. Our public relations agency is pursuing national and international media coverage at the moment, and we're leveraging that announcement to increase awareness of Brownsville's growing advanced manufacturing ecosystem and investment opportunities.
Any questions from the board?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
work.
Ms. Saenz. Next item, business recruitment by Jerry Briones.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So this month, we received 4 RFIs through the governor's office. Of the 4, we didn't submit any. Most were because building size, land requirements, and 1 was a port project. We received 8 referrals on our international and U.S. leads. We're still working those, and we're still in follow-up conversations with 12 other projects that we listed last month, for a total of 24 leads that we're working at the moment. Next. Any questions, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Next item, executive report by Gilberto Salinas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm not used to clicking. Okay. All right, so this morning, the Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he announced that the Saronic Technologies has chosen Brownsville for its $3.2 billion shipyard. If you recall, this is a project that we've been reporting both at this meetings, both in open and closed session. This is a project that we've been referring to as a game changer, transformative, and generational. So when we got the call from the governor's economic development team last year, it's interesting because internally we thought, is this going to be another one of those SpaceX type of projects? And if so, I mean, do we have an actual opportunity in landing the project? So we thought we had seen it all with SpaceX and the LNG plants, but then this one starts to really percolate, to develop, and it started developing really fast. This is a project that we started working about 14, 15 months ago, and today it was announced. So as you can see, the investment, that's $3.2 billion in capital investment. It's a fiscal impact, $3.6 billion for Texas, Cameron County. It's spending output, almost $5 billion, and another $1.4 billion in wages being paid to our local population. Direct jobs, 10,000, and it's almost 20,000 with indirect and induced jobs. Economic impact, as you can see, almost $170 billion. And the governor announced at the press conference this morning that this would be the largest shipbuilding facility in the world. So at the press conference, this was at the Saronic headquarters in Austin. Dino Mavroukas was at the press conference as well. He's the CEO, one of the founders and CEO of Saronic. But afterwards, it was pretty interesting because they were interviewed by Bloomberg News Channel. And I love what Dino said. He said that they would be pouring billions of dollars into the local economy, especially to the local workforce. He said companies like SpaceX, their suppliers, and he said us coming will create an entire ecosystem, not only for Brownsville, but for the entire state of Texas. He said with SpaceX there, this will create a critical corridor, not just for business and commerce, but for national security. Then the governor followed, and he said in closing the interview, historically, the RGV has been an agricultural region, but with the changes it has been going through, and he said Starbase and Saronic, which both of those are here in Brownsville, is going to be a massive explosion of economic activity. Cameron County is now one of the fastest growing regions in the state. He said this will be a thriving community and will now be up there with DFW, Austin, Houston as regions that are significantly contributing to the state's economic boom. So that, from an economic development standpoint, that was pretty impressive. The fact that he came out and said, hey, the RGV, but then he said Cameron County, you all are up there now with what the Texas Triangle is doing. And that's, nobody has ever said that before. So I'll close with this. These projects don't happen overnight, and they don't happen by themselves. It takes a lot of coordination and convening between community, political, and business leadership, all of which need to align, strategize, have a plan of action, and execute on that vision. So I'll repeat that. It's got to be community, business, political, even academic, leadership that needs to align, strategize, have a plan of action, a vision, and execute on that. And that was especially the case with this project. Secondly, I'd like to recognize the board. I mean, one for being visionaries and really for allowing us to be, I was going to use the word aggressive, but that's too aggressive, but allowing us to be assertive in what it is that we do, which is the recruitment of industry, knocking on doors, promoting Brownsville, and working with all these different projects. And that being said, talking about convening and teamwork, we're one of 4 entities that were actively involved in the project. That's Cameron County, Port Brownsville, Point Isabel School District in Port Isabel, and the Greater Brownsville EDC. Each one of us had a vital role to play in the recruitment of this particular project, and both the governor as well as Dino himself said those were the 4 entities that made this project happen. However, thirdly and lastly, I would like to recognize the people that actually worked on this. That's a Greater Brownsville EDC team. If you all could please stand real quick. Like right now. So this is the team that worked diligently around the clock in addressing every possible hurdle, every possible, what we like to say in the industry, project killer, because those pop up in getting in the way of this project. They're the ones that were answering the phone calls. They're the ones that had to cancel their vacations over the Christmas holiday and New Year's holiday to get this project done. But with that, I'll ask for a quick round of applause. Ya se pueden sentar. ¿No? So I'll close, so I'll leave you with this. And this, it's basically what they've been working on. Dino said at the press conference, and he said it very, very well in my terms. He said, in addition to everything that Brownsville had going for it, one of the reasons that we chose Brownsville is because they moved quick, they moved fast, and they moved at the speed of Saronic. I don't know about you all, but I felt like he was talking to us about that. So with that, it's a great day today. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy this Lombardi Trophy for at least a year. At least that's what they do in the NFL. And that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Gilbert. And congratulations to you and the staff for all the hard work that you all have put in. Certainly one of the things that I've learned in going through putting a project of this caliber through the pipeline is the amount of work that it takes to bring it all together, to bring it to fruition, right? And part of those things is, as an EDC, to be a convener, right? A convener of all the interested stakeholders in this project from Point Isabel, Cameron County, City of Brownsville, the Port of Brownsville, and that is sometimes challenging, right? And we were able to prevail and bring all the interested stakeholders to the table and get the project through and do what it takes to get it done. So I congratulate you and the staff for a great job. Hopefully, there's more to come after this of similar size, of similar calibers, and hopefully it's not the last one. But thank you all for your extraordinary effort and hard work in delivering this project. So it's a great win. Enjoy it for a little bit. We have more work to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Next item, discussion, consideration, and acknowledgement of the Greater Brownsville EDC financials and quarterly investment report presented by Salvador Villalpando.
Good afternoon, Chairman and board members. We're going to start off with the financials and then dive into the quarterly investment report. Total balance sheet as of June 2026, net position 33.4 million with 34.5 million in assets. Within our assets, we have 724,000 in cash, 14.5 in investments, 650 in receivables, which is the sales tax for the most recent month, and 18.1 million in capital assets. 1.1 million in liabilities, mainly consisting of accounts payable, as well as a retainage for Greater Brownsville Tech District Phase 1 construction at 498,000. That retainage will be paid once the project is complete, which should be very soon. On here, we have budget to actuals comparison for the current fiscal year to the month of June. Sales tax, 5.45 million. Interest earned, 609,000. Sponsorships, 1,250. And miscellaneous revenues of $4,000 for a total of 6.1 million in revenues. Expenditures, 17.6 million with 3.5 in operating, 365,000 in contractual commitments, and 13.75 million in initiatives. So far through the first 9 months, we do have a deficit of 11.5 million. On here, we have the sales tax comparison between this year and the previous. For the month of May, there was a 7.8% increase compared to May of the previous fiscal year. Total collections, 642,000. And then so far through the first 8 months, collections are 5.5 million, which translates to a basically 5% increase to the previous fiscal year. That 5% increase annualizes to 8.2 million in collections. And for reference, we budgeted 8 million for the full fiscal year. Lastly, we have the quarterly investment report through the month of June. Our portfolio mainly consists of investment pools at 95% and demand deposits at 5%. Within the demand deposits, we have $723,000. Most or all of it in our demand account for Lone Star National Bank, which is yielding 2.5%. And then the rest of the investment pools the rest of the portfolio is within the investment pools at 15 million, which are yielding 3.9%, 3.5%, and 3.65% respectively. The weighted average days to maturity is 20 days for the portfolio, which basically means we have a liquid portfolio. We can withdraw monies as needed for operations. And lastly, our weighted average yield is 3.42%, which is slightly lower than a 3-month Treasury bill through June at 3.74%. That covers the financials and quarterly report. If there's any questions.
Any questions from the board? Now, a motion to accept the financial report.
Motion.
Have a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, presentation and first reading for the fiscal year 2027 budget, presented by Salvador Villalpando.
For this item, there was a packet handed out to everyone. And Michelle, I emailed the packet as well for your review. This has the detailed breakdown for every single line item, as well as a presentation for any notes. So this is the fiscal year 2027 proposed budget. Next slide, please. We're going to start off with going over the budget calendar. Today is July 16th. We're having the first reading with the GBEDC board. On August the 4th, we'll be having the first workshop with the City Commission. 2 weeks later, on the 18th, we go back to City Commission for the first reading of the budget. That same week, we come back to the board for a second reading and final adoption. And then lastly, we go to City Commission on September the 1st for the second reading and final adoption of the budget. This slide here has an overview of the proposed budget. We're recommending $9 million in total revenues, which is a 2.2% decrease compared to the prior year. Expenditures, $23.6 million, which is a 9.8% increase to the prior year. And lastly, that'll leave us with a $10.8 million fund balance, taking into account a net change of $14.6 million for the year. On here, we have a breakdown of the revenues being budgeted. On the left-hand side is sales tax at $8.4 million. As you can see, there is a 5% increase in sales tax compared to the $8 million that was budgeted last year. On the next slide, we'll dive deeper into these numbers. We can go back to the last slide, please. And then we have $600,000 being budgeted for interest. That's a 50% decrease. And that's basically taken into account that we'll have less in our investment portfolio compared to the current year at 17 million average throughout the year and a 3.5% yield. Next slide. On here, we have the sales tax history from fiscal year 2021 to basically to the current fiscal year. On the note at the bottom, it shows that we've had a 6.5% compound annual growth rate from fiscal year 2021 through fiscal year 2025. On the fiscal year 2026 bar, we have 8.2 million being projected for the current fiscal year in collections. And then for fiscal year 2027, it shows a 2.2% increase at 8.4 million. That's basically projecting a 2.2% increase of collections for the current year for next year at 8.4 million. This is the first of the major categories for expenditures, which is operating. For fiscal year 2027, we are budgeting a total of 5.7 million, which is an increase of 1.5 million compared to the current fiscal year's budget. Starting off with personnel benefits, we're budgeting 3.4 million, which is a 50% increase. General operating expenditures, $492,000, which is a 47% increase. For travel, $525,000, 138% increase. Professional development, $107,000, 48% increase. Professional services, $275,000, a decrease of 5%. Marketing, $400,000, a decrease of 27%. Community activities, $375,000, an increase of 7%. And then lastly, the administrative services with the City of Brownsville, it's unchanged as per the current contract that we have with them, $136,000. This slide here reflects the contractual commitments that have been board approved. We're budgeting a total of 2.91 million for the next fiscal year, 1 million for Project Red Planet, 1 million for Project Hercules, $300,000 for Vida, $250,000 for Project Oxidizing, $196,000 for Rich Products, and then lastly, $160,000 for the TAC Pipefitter program. This slide here reflects the budget for the City of Brownsville Airport Development contributions for the next fiscal year. In the current year, we budgeted $944,000. Next fiscal year will be 2.45 million, which includes 1 million for Project Noseville, $944,000 for the airport debt service contribution, And lastly, 500,000 for an interlocal agreement for the Pan Am building with the city of Brownsville. This slide here reflects the initiatives for fiscal year 2027. Total being budgeted is 1.3 million, which is a decrease of $200,000. We have 250,000 in international trade missions, $250,000 in space and defense activities, $250,000 in initiatives as a contingency, $200,000 for workforce development and training programs, $200,000 for community college partnerships, $150,000 in small industry programs. And then it shows that we budgeted last year for a prospect vehicle and for a partnership with BCIC that is not being budgeted for in 2027. Lastly, we have industrial real estate. We're budgeting 11.225 million for fiscal year 2027, which is a decrease of 3 million. We're budgeting 8 million for the Greater Brownsville Tech District Phase 2, 2 million for a contingency with BPUB for any electrical infrastructure needs, $750,000 for the EDC office building, $250,000 for sidewalks at the North Brownsville Industrial Park, $200,000 for lots 1 and 2 of the same park, and lastly, $25,000 in maintenance for the North Brownsville Industrial Park. Lastly, we have a visual of the overall summary. On the left-hand side, we have revenues, 9 million, with 93% in sales tax and 7% in interest. On the right-hand side, expenditures, 23.6 million, with 24% in operating, 12% in contractual commitments, 10% in airport development contributions, 5.5% in initiatives, and 48% in industrial real estate activities. Lastly, again, this is reflecting, or we are budgeting for a net change in fund balance of negative 14.6 million, and we're projecting to end the next fiscal year with a fund balance of 10.8 million. Any questions?
Are we not projecting anything on sales of the lots?
So we are not budgeting for any sale of land, but that is being accounted for within actual activity for the current fiscal year, and it's reflected within the beginning fund balance for next fiscal year. As far as budgeting for it, I think it's recommended that we not budget for it since it's not guaranteed.
In the budget as lot sales, so you'll see that we're projecting, I think, 14 million, either between now and even through the end of 2020, FY 2027.
That is correct.
I have a question on travel. You have indicated a 138 increase. I guess my question is this board travel went from 20 to 25,000.
Why the 25 per board? So it's generally lower than the staff travel, just for the fact that the board does not travel as much as the staff does historically. It's taking into account previous actual activity.
So, I mean, did we spend $20,000?
We have, not in the current fiscal year. It is currently under 25,000. We're just projecting increased travel for both the staff and the board next year.
Okay, and then my other question on the travel, you are departing from the Brownsville International Airport, aren't you?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay, good. And then I had another question on it. The marketing, how come you reduced it by about 27%? Why?
So we were looking at the actual activity so far for the current fiscal year. There's 2 major categories for marketing. It's just taking into account basically an unused of funds thus far. We'll revisit marketing and make sure that it decreases appropriate for this line item.
Okay. Those are my questions. Well, I do want to comment. I saw the professional development, the education. I've always been a strong community supporter of that. So again, my I guess professional development actually went up. So that's good.
Yes, Dr. Joanna, we have a young team, and I've always been a proponent, we've always been a proponent of ongoing education, training, And economic development is there's a lot of work that goes into it. It takes about 2 years to really get somebody up to speed to be able to say, okay, I'm an economic developer. So it's been front loaded as we've been hiring more employees.
Any other questions from the board?
I don't know if it's a question or a comment. I just want to say that we, as a board, don't have anything indoors set in stone that if there's any travel that they must fly out of Brownsville. We hope that the support is in Brownsville, obviously, but as I travel, sometimes there's better options, not only for cost, but also from point A to point B. Sometimes there's better options when you go elsewhere, per se, that it's not Brownsville, because sometimes what could have taken you from, say, Southwest, 2 to 3 hour flight, if you fly out of Brownsville, could be a 7, 8, 9 hour. So I'm hoping that that is up to Gilbert's discretion as a director to make that decision.
Thank you. Yes, and every now and then we do find ourselves where there's whether it's cheaper or it's easier to get to alternative. That's when we look at a Harlan chip. For the most part, it's always been Brownsville.
Okay, I just want to make sure that there's nothing set on stone
There-
that
there's-
you must. because
There's
that-
there's nothing set in stone. We always do our best to fly out of Brownsville.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
I think the rule for the most part has been to give priority to the Brownsville Airport. Unfortunately, there are circumstances when availability schedules do not permit otherwise, and so they're kind of forced to pick the alternative other than Brownsville. So,
Well, my point on that question of flying out of Brownsville is we're paying into Brownsville's airport, and it seems ludicrous not to support it. You know, that's my question, and that's where we need to put the pressure on the airport staff to start looking for airlines or commuter flights that can accommodate not just the city of Brownsville, but you know, industries wanting to fly from Brownsville to Austin during legislatures sessions as such. But that's an ongoing issue.
Yes, sir.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. Any other questions? Thank you. Just a couple of comments with respect to the budget. I did spend some time with Sal yesterday to go over top to bottom the items on the proposed budget, and I did have several questions which resulted in some modifications that are reflected here today. But nonetheless, I would like to assign a budget committee comprising of Board Member Gonzalez, Board Member Bernus, and Board Member Orozco to do a top-down review of the budget in terms of line item by line item to make sure that you guys are fully aware of what all the drivers of revenue, the drivers of the expenditures, the expected, expenditures that we have, and overall the assumptions made with respect to those numbers. You'll see that a lot of the items within the operating budget, particularly with the expenses, you'll see that a lot of them are growing substantially, and that's really just an indication of the market that we're in with respect to economic development. Also, secondly, is you're starting to see a stabilization of a new leadership within the Greater Brownsville EDC in terms of what is required in terms of travel, in terms of events and trade missions and all the expenditures that are required to establish a good pipeline of or a lead generation machine that causes us to be able to enjoy a lot of the fruits that we're starting to see here recently. And so I do want the board to have an active role in the determination of the budget so that when you get asked, why are you at this point in terms of staff level? Why are you at this level in terms of travel or any other items with marketing or what have you? And so at the very least, this is the board's opportunity to have input and control into what the expenditures of the Greater Brownsville EDC is. And so this is our time. This is our time to oversee. This is our time to ensure that the budget is approved. And this is a control mechanism that we have in place as far as the guiding principles of expenditures that relate to the Greater Brownsville EDC. So again, I'd like to appoint Board Member Gonzalez, Board Member Bernays, and Board Member Orozco as a committee to go do a top to bottom, line item by line item, get explanations from Sal and the staff as to why they think those numbers are appropriate. So with that, you guys are appointed. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Villapando. Next item, closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, 551.074, 551.072, and 551.87, related to project updates, Project Hot Rod, and Project Industrial.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We are in executive session. The time is 4:33.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to reconvene into open session, please?
Motion?
Have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carried. We are in open session. The time is 5:58.
Next item, consideration and action, if any, including but not limited to the adoption of board resolutions related to items discussed in executive session. Projects update, project Hot Rod and project Industrial.
Project 10.1, project update, project 10.2, project Hot Rod, and project 10.3 is no action on each of those respective items. So there being no further business, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.